Hello students, we're going to be doing our first lesson in chapter 10. This is graphing points in 4 quadrants. This may seem a little bit redundant because we did some graphing in chapter 9. We're going to be working this time with a coordinate plane that is the intersection of a horizontal number line, which is called the x-axis, and a vertical number line, which is called the y-axis. They intersect at a point called 0, 0, which is known as the origin. It is the beginning place for whenever we are going to be graphing or looking at coordinates for points. The coordinate plane is divided up into 4 quadrants. Quadrant refers to divided into 4 parts. Quadrant 1 is wherever the x is positive and the y is positive. For example, point A is in quadrant 1. If we look at quadrant 2, notice that we go counterclockwise, which is a little unusual. Here, the x's are going to have negative values and the y's will be positive. Point E is in quadrant 2. If we continue going counterclockwise, we'll notice that we're in quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, all the points have a negative x and a negative y. B is in quadrant 3. Continuing over to our right, we are in quadrant 4. In quadrant 4, every point in there will have an x that is a positive value and a y that is a negative value. Point F is in quadrant 4. So what about a point like D? Point D does not belong to a quadrant. It is said to be on the x-axis. Point C is also not in a quadrant. It is on the y-axis. The origin is simply called the origin and is 0, 0 for ordered pairs. An ordered pair, which is given by xy, the x-coordinate is always first. It will always give you the coordinates for the location of a point. The ordered pair, 0, 0, indicates the origin. The first number in that ordered pair is always going to be the x-coordinate. It tells you the number of horizontal units a point is from the origin. The second number is the y-coordinate. It will tell you the number of vertical units a point is from the origin. The next thing that we're going to be working on is actually writing the coordinates for a point. Here again, it's a good idea to start with x. We always want to deal with going right or left of the origin. That's where we usually start. For example, our first one's going to be A. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to move so that I'm right under point A, which is at 2. That means my x-coordinate is 2. Then I would move up to the point A, and then to my left in this case to be at 3, and my coordinates are 2, 3. If I look at point B, I'm going to be moving left to negative 4. Then I'm going to be moving down to quadrant 2. Now if you'll notice, moving to the right and moving up for point A put me in positive positioning. Both x and y are positive. To find the coordinates for B, I went to my left, that's negative, and then I went down, which is also negative. Now let's look at point C. I'm starting again at that origin, and if you'll notice, I'm right under point C. So that means my x-coordinate for C has to be 0. How far up or down am I going? I'm going 2 units up, so my y-coordinate is 2. If I look at D, from the origin, I'm going to go over 5 places to my right. That makes it positive. But if you'll notice, I'm not going up or down. I make 0 moves up or down. So my ordered pair is 5, 0. Can you figure out the coordinates for E? Hopefully, you wrote down negative 5, 5. Because we go 5 to our left from the origin and then 5 up. Remember, moving left of the origin is negative, but moving up is positive. Again, try to find the coordinates for point F. Did you come up with 4, negative 6? Because from the origin, we move 4 places over, which would be positive 4, to our right, which is positive 4. And then we're going down to negative 6, which is a negative type of movement. The last thing we're going to do today is graph each point. We always start with the origin, and we move horizontally the number of units that is given by the x-coordinate. If we look at A, we want to graph 5, 6. Starting at the origin, I will go to my right 5, and then I'll be going up 6. And that will be A. Let's look at B. I would start at the origin and go down 3 to be at 0, negative 3. For point C, we're going to go 6 units to our left and 12 units up. Now you don't have to draw in all the lines. You can do it by just moving your pencil over the point and then moving up. Negative 6, 12. C is 5, negative 4. We've already been to 5 once, so we're going to go down to negative 4. And that will be point D. Let's see if you can get point E correct. Point E would be a negative 7, 1, which is in quadrant 2. Can you get F? F is going to be 2, 1 in quadrant 1. And G would be located on the x-axis at negative 4, 0. How did you do? Could you place E, F, and G? If we look at our graph, points A and D are in a position known as vertical. Actually, if I drew a line between A and D, it would form what we call a vertical line. And they're vertical, and if you'll notice, A and D have the same x-coordinate. If I drew that line going through A and D, every single point on the line would have the same x-coordinate of 5. Now let's look at points E and F. E and F are in a position known as horizontal. I could draw a horizontal line between them. Notice that those 2 points don't have the same x-coordinate. E and F have the same y-coordinate. And in fact, every single point that I would have on the line connecting E and F would have the exact same y-coordinate of 1. This concludes Chapter 10.1's lesson on graphing points in 4 quadrants, and we'll catch you next time.
Stay